It is time to start another season of baseball, Season 4, the 2025 campaign. It is the Cincinnati Reds taking on their division rival, the Chicago Cubs, here at Wrigley Field. Take a look at the Cubbies lineup on the day, listed 1-9, as well as the Redlegs 1-9 on the day. We'll start things off top half of the first inning. Jonathan India facing Shohei Ohtani, going for the Cubbies. He rips the ball into left center field. Brennen Davis gets to it, but off balance. India thinks he can get into second, but instead he is gunned down at second, trying to stretch it into a double play. Move things on to the second inning now, where Johnny Fagan slaps one out to right field to lead off the inning with a base knock. That is his first career major league hit for the Michigan-born first baseman. So the next batter up in the inning is Elly De La Cruz. Tries to move the runner over with a bunt, but instead it's right at the second baseman, and Fagan doesn't even move up. So runner on first still is Fagan, or now it's De La Cruz rather, and he goes and swipes second base to get himself in a scoring position. So runner on second, one out for Austin Hendrick. He rips the ball into deep right center field, but it is going to be caught by Davis. De La Cruz will tag up 90 feet, but he is on third now with two outs in the inning. And then Joe Adell would get a good pitch to hit, but he just pops it up here right into the infield. First baseman Ryan O'Hearn makes the catch. Still 0-0. Hunter Green on the bump for the Reds on the day, and he had it working early. Strikes at Patrick Wisdom on the up and in fastball. Then it's Wilson Contreras also up in the zone on the 101 heat. And then for the third out of the inning, striking at the side, all on fastballs, is Hunter Green. He gets Ryan O'Hearn looking. He's a pair of shoes. Move things on to the third. David Bodie starts off the inning, or for the second out of the inning, strikes out. That's his fourth K of the game already. And then for number 5, gets Brennen Davis to chase the slider. So through 3 innings, it's scoreless here at Wrigley. Move things on to the 6th inning, where Nico Hoerner slaps one out into the right field corner. Hendrick gives it chase, and Horner's got wheels, so he's not just thinking 2 here. He's going to go into third base, slides around the tag, has himself a 1-out 3-bagger. Then it brings up Nick Madrigal with the infield in, is able to bloop one into right field, and that'll score 1, so the Cubs strike first. And now we will move things on to the next batter as Ian Happ grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. Fantastic turn by the second baseman J.P. Crawford. Ron Marinaccio, the Toms River native, came on for the Reds in the 7th inning, and he would get his first career strikeout by getting Patrick Wisdom to go down swinging. After that, it would bring up Wilson Contreras, who works a 3-2 count, but then chases the up and away fastball for out number 2. And then Marinaccio would get back to work as he proceeds to get Ryan O'Hearn to chop one over to first base. Fagan makes the play and steps on the bag, so a scoreless inning for Marinaccio. Move things on top of the 8th now. De La Cruz gets a good pitch to hit, a splitter up in the zone, but just cannot do anything with it. Pops it up. Then it brings up Austin Hendrick, who whiffs through the 3-2 splitter, just could not make contact on the nasty pitch from Ohtani. And then for the final out of the inning, it's Joe Adell. Just cannot pull the trigger. He's a pair of shoes, as Ohtani perfectly places that one down and away. So TJ Antone now here in the bottom half of the 8th comes on for the Reds. And with 1 out in the inning, it would be Bodie grounding one over to second base, and J.P. Crawford showing off the range, makes the diving play for out number 2 in the inning. And then going right back to work is Antone, gets the nasty slider, swing and a miss on Brennen Davis, strikes out him to end the inning. Move things on to the 9th. Ohtani still on the bump, gets a jam pitch up to Walls, up and in, and he would pop it out to shortstop for out number 1. Evan White then came on to pinch hit here for the Reds, and with 1 out on a 1-2 count, he whiffs through the slider out in front of it as well. That's 2 down in the inning now. And then it would bring up J.P. Crawford back at the top half of the order, takes a ball off the elbow guard, so he'll take his base, and now the go-ahead run is at the dish. They will not take any chances. Ohtani will come out of the game, pitched a phenomenal 8 2/3 here on the day, but now it's time for Cody Hoyer to come on and pick up his first save here of 2025. So facing Jonathan India, 0-2 count, gets him to chase the slider, and he does it as nothing going going on the day for the Reds. They failed to score a single run here on opening day as the Cubs shut them down, win this game 1-0. Shohei Ohtani, like I said, 8 2/3, just a phenomenal day. Player of the game, only gives up 3 hits, strikes out 7 Reds batters, no walks and no earned runs as well. Hunter Green pitched well as well with a 6 innings, 3 hits, 6 Ks, 1 line, 1 earned run pitching line on the day, but just not up to snuff, and the offense could not do anything for him. Ohtani, absolutely one of the toughest guys to face in this game. I absolutely hate it. And now before we move on to the next game, we do have a couple things to go over. Firstly, we actually did claim a player with all the waivers that we're going through. Prior to opening day from spring training, we picked up Cooper Hummel off the waiver wire, a utility player from the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was originally drafted as a catcher out of Portland University, the Portland Pilots, and we will be changing his primary position to catcher. He can also play corner outfield and first base, has some decent contact power, 90-plus plate discipline as well. He will be wearing number 27 here for the ball club. Well, Matt Thaiss, unfortunately, is going to be getting sent down to AAA as he now becomes the 3rd catcher on the depth chart, at least for now. And then Kent Emanuel was the one removed from the 40-man roster to make room for Hummel on it. Luckily, Emanuel did clear waivers, so he will just return to AAA like he was, but he is no longer on the 40-man. And we are about to take on the Chicago White Sox, the other Chicago team. Take a look at their roster. Judge, Marte, Hader, all new big names on their roster. They've also got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa from the Yankees. They picked him up, I believe, 2 off seasons ago. Great defender. Last season's American League hit leader as well. They still have Josh Rojas on their roster, too. They got him in a trade for a swap for him and Gavin Sheets with the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then Aaron Judge, as you would expect, has been absolutely insane with both the Yankees and the White Sox through the sim here throughout this series. They have him signed through the 2031 campaign. And then also last season they traded for Marte at the deadline. He hit 41 home runs combined between the D-backs and the Southsiders last year. The White Sox also have a decent pitching staff. 1 to 5, definitely a bit weaker now that they don't have Giolito in it, also Lance Lynn, but it's still okay enough. But their bullpen is really the strength here. Absolute dominating lefties at the back end with Josh Hader, Garrett Crochet, and Aaron Bummer as the 3 best relievers. Hader was absolutely lights out as their closer last year. Very good rebound year for him after a poor 2023. And they have him signed through 2029. The Reds back at home here at Great American Ballpark for some interleague action against the other Chicago team, the White Sox here. As on the hill for them on the day will be the right-hander Dylan Cease with no mustache, just a beard, making his 3rd start here in 2025. And he will be opposed by the left-hander Brandon Williamson, looking to rebound from his bad first start of the season. And we'll start things off with him on the hill. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, last season's American League hit leader, pokes one off to the right side. That's a leadoff base knock. Then it brings up Josh Rojas, who also is going to poke one past Johnny Fagan. That's going to roll in for a single. And then Aaron Judge also smacks one out to right field. 3 straight singles here for the White Sox, so bases are drunk, nobody out. Williamson then gets Eloy Jimenez to ground into a 6-4-3 double play, so a run does come in, but now it's runner on 3rd here with 2 out. And then Williamson would proceed to get Andrew Vaughn to ground out to first base. Fagan almost ruins it, but he does recover enough to get the runner at first base. Move things on to bottom of the 1st inning as the Reds bats get to work. J.P. Crawford chopper up the middle, and that's going to be an infield single for him. Then with 2 outs in the inning, brings up Austin Hendrick, who rips one through the right side, moves up Crawford 90 feet, sets up 1st and 2nd here with 2 outs, and Elly De La Cruz chops one up the middle. This one gets into the outfield, and Crawford scores from second base to make it a 1-1 ball game here. Then McKinstry with runners on second and third would be way out in front of a changeup, whiffs through it, strands 2 runners, but not before they tie the game at 1. Move things on top of the second now. Luis Robert absolutely destroys a pitch into left center field. This one's going to plunk off that wall. Allen gets to it quickly, throws it into Walls, the cutoff man, and he rips it over to third, and they would get him trying to stretch it into a triple. De La Cruz slaps the tag, and then Williamson would get a chopper down the first baseline as he gets a spin throw over to first to retire Grichuk, and it's still 1-1 here as we move things on to the third inning now. But now the White Sox get back to hitting. Caratini slaps one through for a base knock. Then it brings up IKF, who also gets another single, his second of the day already. And it's back-to-back base knocks here, 2 on, nobody out, brings up Josh Rojas, who flies one out to left field. McKinstry chases it, but cannot make the play. The runners thought he would get to it, though, so the lead runner is the slowest, and Caratini, and he is gunned down at home plate. So still 1-1 here, 2 on, 1 out, and Aaron Judge muscles one into the right field corner on the up and in pitch. Hendrick makes the out, but he has no throw to the plate, so a run does come in on the sac fly. And then Eloy Jimenez would ground one past De La Cruz, and McKinstry, despite having a strong arm, they do test it, and it is going to be an RBI single for Jimenez, makes it a 3-1 ball game. Now on to the bottom half of the frame where Johnny Fagan comes up, hits one into right center field. Judge gets to it quickly. They do not test his arm, so Fagan 2-out single. Then it brings up Hendrick with another 2-out hit, works the 2-1 count, and clobbers that one into the right center field gap. That's going to score Fagan all the way from first base, and Hendrick, thinking the throw is going to go to the plate, goes to the third. He ends up being gunned down, but he does manage to make it a 1-run game. 3-2 is your score. Into the top of the fifth, where it's going to be Aaron Judge hitting one into the hole, and Taylor Walls making a fantastic play in the hole. The jump throw, showing off that range and the arm. The elite glove out there at shortstop continues to dazzle here for the Reds. So 1 down in the inning brings up, or 2 down, I should say, brings up Eloy Jimenez, and he finds a hole through the shift, so he keeps the inning alive with a base knock. Then it brings up Andrew Vaughn, and he's going to hit a single into left center field. Jay Allen somehow not able to make that catch, even with his good defense. So first and second here, that would end Brandon Williamson's day. Not his day on the hill, not his season so far through 2 starts. Ron Marinaccio, the Toms River North man, comes on here for the Reds to try to get out of the jam, and he would proceed to do just that. Ketel Marte comes up, and Ketel Marte goes down on the fastball. Keeps it at a 3-2 ball game, but unfortunately in the top of the 7th, Alex Reyes came on, and he was not able to keep it a 1-run ball game as he allows a base runner, and then Aaron Judge clubs a slider that does not slide into the left center field seats. A 2-run blast for the Judge. All rise, his first of the season, makes it a 5-2 ball game. Move things on to the bottom of the 8th, where one of the lefties comes on in Garrett Crochet, making his 5th appearance. And facing Jay Allen, good pitch to hit, hanging changeup, lines it into center field. Then with 2 outs, India comes up, hanging slider, also flies it out to center field, and somehow IKF makes the catch on that. Now Josh Hader comes on here in the 9th inning looking to shut the door. He's 3 for 3 in save opportunities early on this season. De La Cruz comes up, spits on ball 4. He'll draw himself a walk here with 2 outs to keep the game alive. Adrian Merced then comes on to pinch hit for the left-handed bat of McKinstry, and he would proceed to work a 1-2 count, rip a ball out to left center field, and this one just going to be caught on the run by Eloy Jimenez as it makes it a 5-2 final in this one, as that would be the end of it. The White Sox do beat the Reds here at Great American Ballpark. Dylan Cease was your player of the game. Pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, but struck out 9 Reds batters, 1 walk, 2 earned runs on the day. Judge had a home run and 3 runs driven in, while only 6 total hits for the Reds offense here at home. Now the Reds hitting the road once again for another NL Central matchup. It's the St. Louis Cardinals at Busch Stadium. Take a look at the Reds lineup on the day, listed 1-9, as well as the Cardinals 1-9. We'll start things off bottom half of the first with Tony Gonsolin going for the Reds, and he's going to give up a leadoff single here to Trey Turner, and then he will proceed to go and use his speed to get into second base with a stolen bag, so he's on second, nobody out still. Then it brings up Tommy Edman, who grounds one over to first. Turner advances to third as Gonsolin covers the bag there for out number 1. And then Nolan Arenado hits one past De La Cruz at third, so the Cardinals do strike first to make it a 1-0 lead. But Gonsolin would clutch up after that as he gets Tyler O'Neill to go down on the slider. And then for the final out of the inning, it would be Dylan Carlson getting the fastball up and in, blown by him. Move things on, top of the third, Jacob deGrom on the hill for the Cardinals. Hanging curveball to Taylor Walls, just flies it out to right center for out number 1. Then it brings up Jay Allen, who would just go down on a nasty curveball. I mean, how could you possibly pull the trigger on that? Nicks the inside half, and then another hanging curveball to J.P. Crawford. Good timing, just flies it out to right center, so nothing going for the Reds bats. Move things on, top of the fourth. Tyler Stevenson does manage to rip one through the infield. Base knock here with 1 out, so he's on. Then it brings up Johnny Fagan, 1-1 count, bloops one into right field. Stevenson manages to move with the second base safely, so it's first and second here. 1 out for the Reds. Brings up De La Cruz, whiffs through the pitch in the dirt. That's out number 2 on the drop, third strike, and then it would be Austin Hendrick who comes up, and he would just get jammed and fly it out to left field where O'Neill makes the easy out. So still 1-0. Move things on to the fourth where Gonsolin still had it going, gets a nasty breaking ball for Tyler O'Neill to swing through, and then Dylan Carlson chops one back to him. Gonsolin makes the easy play for out number 2, and then Gonsolin goes back to the nasty breaker as he would get Jake Shiner, the first baseman, to go down on strikes as well. So move things on, top of the 6th, Jonathan India spits on the borderline pitch and draws himself a leadoff walk. He would then proceed to go and steal second base to get himself into scoring position. So runner on second here, Tyler Stevenson works the full count, also spits on the close pitch, and that's back-to-back base on balls for the Redlegs. So first and second here now with 1 out, brings up De La Cruz, rips one into center field. That's going to score a run, and the Reds tie this ball game. Second and third now with 1 out here for Cincinnati. Brings up Austin Hendrick. Pitch gets away from the catcher, but it goes right back to him, bouncing off the brick wall, and Stevenson is dead meat at the dish. So now 2 outs, 1-2 count to Hendrick. Just could not pull the trigger on the fastball, gets frozen, was looking for something else, and he goes down looking. So it's still a 1-1 ball game. Move things on, bottom of the 6th, Tommy Edman, chopper out to second base. Pretty nice play from behind the bag from J.P. Crawford. Then it would be Nolan Arenado who grounds one, or chops one rather. Barehanded play by Crawford, another nice play by him. Gonsolin out of energy, so here comes Alex Reyes against his former team to try to end the inning, and he would also proceed to work a ground ball out to J.P. Crawford. On the run, makes the play. 3 nice plays by the newest Cincinnati Red for 3 ground outs in the inning. I can't talk. So now on to the bottom of the 7th. Dylan Carlson draws a leadoff walk, and then the control issues continue for Reyes as he also walks Shiner. So back-to-back walks here to start the inning. Ryan Weathers, the lefty, then comes on to try to get out of the jam here for Cincinnati. And it's Josh Baez, the Massachusetts native, who grinds into a 4-6-3 double play. So suddenly it's 2 down, runner on third, and it is now Sean Murphy who bloops one over De La Cruz's head, lands in for a single, and the Cardinals take a 2-1 lead here in this ball game. They would take that score into the 9th inning where Taylor Rogers, their new closer, comes on. He takes that gig since they lost Gallegos in the offseason, and De La Cruz gets the bunt single here to lead off the inning, get the go-ahead run here at the dish. So it's now runner on first, and De La Cruz is picked off immediately, trying to steal second here to get himself into scoring position, but instead he's just picked off, and now there's nobody on base with 1 out. Austin Hendrick, 0-2 count, has to swing at that close sinker, just pops it up into right field for out number 2, and then Adrian Merced comes on to pinch hit here for the Reds against the left-hander in Rogers, and he would just proceed to hit a high sinker here into center field. Nothing going for the Bats once again here for Cincinnati as they lose this game. Close one, 2-1 here to their NL Central foe, the St. Louis Cardinals, on the road. Taylor Rogers gets the Player of the Game honors for his save in the 9th inning. While Cincinnati only gets 7 hits on the day, the Cardinals only get 5. The offense continues to absolutely stink here early on in the season. Definitely not the offensive start the Cincinnati Reds ball club wanted to have here in this season, as they are obviously trying to make the playoffs here. But with that being said, that is going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Cincinnati Reds franchise here on MLB The Show 22. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I am saying, no caviar, it is beer and Mopar.